You want healthy, glowing skin, but with all the products, trends, and conflicting advice, it's hard to know what actually works. I understand. I am Dr. Tina Meder, a former cardiologist and specialist in the skincare development and cosmetic safety expert. I've spent years studying the science of skin. Welcome to Meder Beauty podcast, where we uncover what really matters, break down the science, and give you real expert-backed skincare advice. Whether you're looking to achieve radiant, healthy skin, curious about anti-aging, or want to understand what's really in your product, you are in the right place. Rooted in science and the truth about what your skin actually needs, we'll have in-depth conversations with leading dermatologists, medical experts, and skincare brand founders to bring you the latest innovations, evidence-based insights, and industry secrets that truly make a difference. We are so happy you are here. So let's go! Nowadays, a lot of people are traveling around the world, and a lot of people are experiencing jet lag. And it became a point of the conversation about the jet lag, how to prevent it, how to minimize it. But to understand how to prevent and minimize jet lag, we should understand what creates the jet lag and why it happens in our body. And actually, it leads to the very interesting conversation about the circadian regulation of the human body and circadian rhythms in our body. This discussion about circadian regulation started at the end of 50s. In the previous century, it was started by the famous scientist Franz Halberg. And he been the first person who defined it formally as some cycles that follow a 24-hour cycle. Obviously, we knew about 24-hour cycle. As long as humanity exists, I believe that people understood then we sleep at night time and we wake up in the morning and every day we do the same. So it is some kind of cycle rhythm in our life. But this new scientific understanding of regular physical, mental, behavioral changes in the 24-hour cycles, it was something new, brought by Halberg in the 20th century. And also it leads us to the understanding that probably we have some mechanisms in our body which regulates our change and which creates this 24-hour cycle following the cycle of day and night of light on our planet. And actually we know that different environmental and external factors could affect our circadian patterns. So sometimes we can sleep longer, sometimes we can sleep less, we can feel different because of it, and our skin changes. So some changes in our schedule can lead to the skin changes, and especially the sleep deficiency and the sleep disorders. I believe that everyone who experiences some sleep disorders or who experiences sleepless night knows that your skin will look different the next day. So, apparently, our skin needs this regular circadian rhythm, and if we are living regularly, if we are going to the bed at the same time and waking up in the same time, our skin looks better. But for a very long time, we didn't have any scientific understanding about the circadian regulation of our skin or of our body. But the science developed a lot, and even in 2017, the Nobel Prize in Biology went to 3 scientists who discovered molecular mechanisms controlling the circadian rhythms in our body. And the first signals which come to our body regulating our rhythms, it is a light signal, so it is the most important one. And for the long time, until the very recent years, we've been speaking about the main stimulation of our eyes by the light. When the light affects our eyes, affects retina, this stimulation is coming to the nerve's ending related and contacting retina. It's called retinohypothalamic tract, and going directly to our deep structure of our brain called hypothalamus. And in this hypothalamus structure, located our central biological clock, difficult scientific name, suprachiasmatic nucleus. And this nucleus, this structure, interpret this light signal and convert it to the hormonal and neuronal signals, which are affecting our body, each organs, each cells, including the skin. And in the skin, all the signals coming from our brain as a reaction to the change of light, they regulate literally everything. The cell cycle, the water loss, the ability of the skin to hold water molecules, regulation of the temperature, production of the sebum, proliferation of cells, maintenance of the healthy DNA of cells, repair of the DNA, and many other processes. So this circadian clock in our brain, it literally gives tact to our functioning. It's kind of the music which helps us to maintain this rhythm. And one of the key enzymes of all this transformation, of this rhythmic oscillation, regulation in our body, it is retinol enzymes. And actually, fun fact, if you have too much of retinol or retinol deficiency in your body, it will affect not only your vision. Retinol is well known. Vitamin A, it's a vitamin deficiency, well known as one of the symptoms of the vitamin A deficiency. It is a night blindness. It is well known. But it affects not only our ability to see, but also our ability to maintain this healthy circadian 24 hours rhythm. So we should be very careful about it. Actually, now when the European Union and other countries, they are coming to the limitation of retinol in the skincare, it's happened also because of the potential risk of the overdose of the vitamin A in our body, because even the smallest overdose can lead to the circadian dysregulation. And now we understand better why it can be important and unsafe if it is dysregulated. So our central clock in our brain, it masters our peripheral clock in our body. But in our skin, we have independent clock system, which called peripheral skin clocks. So our central clock in the brain reacts to the light affecting the retina, and actually recently it was found that it can react to the signals from our intestine. So some kind of food signals can be important too, and very probably it's somehow related with the change of the microbiome. But also in our skin, we have independent substances which acts and activates the peripheral clock. Our melanocytes, pigment cells, they produce not only the visible pigment, melanin, which we know as a skin tanning pigment, but also produce the pigment which we cannot see without special devices. It's called neuropsin. But this neuropsin is able to absorb the visible light. And that's how our skin exposed to the visible light also react to circadian changes and also can self-regulate circadianly. So it's a complicated mechanism of the combined action of our brain, our skin, and our gut in the same time. All the signals affecting our circadian regulation, they call time giver, or for some reason they've been chosen German name, Zeitgebers. They can be related to the light. They can be non-related to the light. They call photic and not photic. So these light signals, they defined first and foremost our sleep-wake cycle, but also they affect our feeding and fasting cycles. But in the same time, our feeding and fasting cycles can give feedback to our circadian regulation, changing our sleep-wake cycle. So everything is interconnected to each other. And both of these pathways, they are affecting another functions in our body and obviously in our skin. So what in our skin is regulating by circadian rhythm, by this 24-hour cycle? First, it is what we call transepidermal water loss. So the ability of our skin holds the water and evaporates the water. As you can probably guess, then when the transepidermal water loss is higher, we evaporate more water and our skin is in the higher risk of the dryness. If we can hold more water, our transepidermal water loss will be low, so our skin will be better moisturized. Also, sleep cycles, circadian cycles, they regulate the rejuvenation of the skin and the skin renewal. That's what we want to activate with many of skincare. When you read some labels of the skincare or some description of the new trendy skincare products, very often it would be described as something which speed up the skin renewal, ameliorate your skin renewal, improve your skin renewal, or something else. And actually, with a healthy sleep-wake cycle, our skin renewal should be good. We don't need the special activation of it. Also, circadian rhythm regulate our blood circulation in the skin, in our microcapillary system. It regulates the pH of the skin, so how acidic your skin will be during the day. And it regulates our DNA repair, all regeneration process in the skin, and the thermoregulation of the skin. It doesn't happen in two simple cycles, like during the daytime our skin does one thing and during the nighttime our skin does something else. No. Actually, in 24 hours time, we have about 5 phases, and each phase duration is about 4 till 5 hours. It can be very individual in one person. And it's a constant competition between two hormones. First, it is cortisol, the hormone of stress, which is the prevalent hormone during the daytime, and melatonin, the hormone responsible for relaxing activity, for sleep activity in our brain, activating the sleep cycles, but also having powerful antioxidant properties and responsible for night regimen changes in our skin. But we cannot say it. During the day we have high cortisol, no melatonin at all, and during the night we have a lot of melatonin and we don't have cortisol. They are constantly fluctuating, competing with each other, but most of the time during the night time our body and our skin are in repair mode. So they're regenerating, detoxifying, restoring, repairing DNA, healing wounds, and doing everything to prepare the skin to the stress of the day. And during the daytime, our body and our skin are in defense mode. So they do everything needed for protection against external factors. Our blood circulation is lower during the early morning, but in the afternoon it increases in twice, preparing us to the night regeneration process. Also, our immune system functions very differently during the night and daytime. In the day phase, we call it vigilance, so it stays in the whole high level of awareness, just detecting and reacting to different kind of external attack, including some potentially vicious bacteria or viruses. During the night, our immune system is in recovery time, so it's trying to help all our body to restore different kind of trauma, scratches, and everything which should be restoring during the nighttime. Why it's so important, and also speaking about the jet lag? Because if your body is regulated circadianly properly, if your skin has a proper circadian regulation, it has an additional response, additional protection against the external damage. In the first place, it would be the ultraviolet. If your skin is regularly exposed to the ultraviolet, your skin will have a day preference, even during the nighttime. If your skin is exposed to the ultraviolet moderately or non-exposed to the ultraviolet, your skin will be in the recovery phase more time during the day. So your skin will repair itself more efficiently. And it is important to understand because you should know that if you have too much of the ultraviolet during the day, your skin is limited in this ability to regenerate itself. So to be able to regenerate, you should avoid the ultraviolet exposure at least a few days after you've been exposed excessively. What happens in the skin during the daytime? Actually, that's not so intriguing and there are not so many processes. But we have higher sebum production. And actually, in the oily skin, everyone who experiences skin oiliness can say it, then the skin is more shiny during the midday. And then when you need more mattifying powder, need towels or something to mattify the skin. During the morning time and during the evening time, your skin behaves better. But the same about the dry skin. The dry skin feels better during the midday because, once again, sebum glands are more active. They're producing a little bit more of sebum, even if the ability to produce sebum limited because of some genetic predisposition to the skin dryness. But in the morning and at the evening time, it can be uncomfortable and you feel the skin is drier. But also during the day, as the skin is in the mode of protection, it has highest ability to protect itself, it has highest thickness, it produces more of keratin, the pH of the skin is more acidic, so it's better protected from some kind of nasty microorganisms potentially attacking the skin, but the skin is not renewing itself. All the process of the skin renewal happens in the nighttime, and actually, in the nighttime, our skin more active than during the day. I heard sometimes people saying then our skin should sleep during the night. Actually, it is not. Our skin should be active during the night because it's party every night. During the daytime, our skin is more relaxed. It has less of functioning. It just creating this barrier to protect itself. But once the sun is going down, our skin going to repair DNA, to renew the skin, cells on the basal membrane start to proliferate, start to move upward to the skin surface, forming this brick and mortar, stratum corneum, superficial level. The temperature of the skin increases. Skin became more permeable. The ability of substances to penetrate the skin during the nighttime are always higher. So the sensitive skin will be less comfortable during the night. There will be more itching. There will be more discomfort. Also, dry skin is uncomfortable during the night because dry skin is evaporating the water and it creates this discomfort. And the barrier is weakened during the night. It starts to recover, it starts to repair itself with an early sunrise. So once the sun is going up, your skin start to prepare for the protection. So if you can stay indoors until some reasonable time during the morning, it will be good for your skin. Sometimes people think then, okay, I should go work out outdoors in the first hour during the day. It's not always a good idea because if you're going outdoors at 5 a.m., very probably your skin is not protected yet. So you should wait a little bit. The best time for the average person, it will be about 6:30, maybe 7 a.m. when your cortisol is higher and your skin is in repair mode. And the same during the night. When you stay outdoors during the nighttime, your skin loses the opportunity for the regeneration this night. And obviously, the age affects everything in our body. And in our skin, we see age-related changes, but there are some invisible age-related changes, which we cannot see. And they are located in different molecular mechanisms, including the circadian regulation of the skin. When we are speaking about jet lag, we are speaking about desynchronization of skin mechanisms of repair and protection, and what happens in the mature skin as a response to the different kind of related changes in our body. So our body is responding to the givers, time givers, less efficiently And even if you are exposed to the early morning, it can be less beneficial in the old age than it was in the young. And a lot of people, they notice it. In the young, you wake up very energetic. It was in 5 minutes, it was enough to feel this intake of the energy. When you are older, you need more time to prepare yourself for the day. And it's completely normal. It's just normal physiological circadian changes. Also, as we lose this synchronized, orchestrated circadian response, our skin barrier will be less efficient, and the skin repair mode during the night can be less efficient as well. And it's related to the higher oxidative stress. It's related to the senescence changes in our skin, and it's related to the accumulation of oxidative byproducts in our skin and of the glycation byproducts on our skin, but also the accumulation of free radicals, oxidation product, glycation product can lead to the skin desynchronization. So it's some kind of the vicious circles once again. And all this desynchronization creates a higher sensitivity to the ultraviolet. It's one of the reasons why the mature skin, it's more vulnerable. It's less protected naturally against the ultraviolet. But it can happen with your skin even when you are young. All episodes of sleep deprivation, every of sleepless nights, can lead to the desynchronization of the body clock. And unfortunately, it's what happens with people working the night shifts. It's unavoidable in the society, and as I could say, then some part of the population is better adapted to night shifts than another part. So it's very important for young people when they're thinking about the choice of the profession and the choice of their activity to understand better their body, because it's not everyone who is able to work night shifts safely, but someone can do it better than other. And a lack of sleep, desynchronization of the body clock, always affects circadian rhythm. What sleep deprivation does to our skin? It dehydrates the skin. It can lead to the skin barrier damage. The recovery after all kind of damage will be slower. The regeneration of the skin is less efficient. We are prone to the fluid retentions because our circulatory system works less efficiently. We have less of collagen in our skin because we produce less of collagen following the sleep deprivation. And actually, our collagen synthesis is on the higher level in our young age until 25, 27 years old. And if you don't sleep well in your young age, you deprive yourself from this stock of collagen, which you'll be able to use later, because the collagen is very long-living molecules. Everything you synthesized in your skin until you're 25, 27 years, you will use it probably until 50 years, because the half-life time of the collagen is about 15 years. And if you didn't sleep well in your early 20s, you will have less of collagen for your 30s and 40s. So it's important to sleep as well as you can. And it leads to the slow repair of the skin cells. Actually, in the young age, your sleep schedule can very much define your skin aging patterns in the future and defines your skin elasticity. But also in the older age, when we don't sleep well, when we have this lack of sleep, sleepless nights, it activates the collagen and hyaluronic acid destroying enzymes, and also decrease the ability of our skin to repair itself and regenerate itself. How it looks? Not very nice. We all know how our skin looks after the sleepless night. We are pale, the skin tone is uneven, skin can be dry, can be flaky, because sebum glands, they are not able to produce enough of sebum in a few days following the sleepless night. Wrinkles will be more visible. Corners of mouth and eyes can be a little bit droopy. We have these dark circles under our eyes, and skin can be irritated because it's desynchronized and it can be still overpermeable during the days. How long it can take? The bad news, then it can take until 10 days, even until 2 weeks, to restore yourself after one sleepless night. In our young age, it takes about 48 hours to restore the circadian regulation. So if you've been taking the early flight once, in a couple of days later, you'll be okay. If you are young, if you are in your late 40s, probably you will take about 1 week to restore itself. And if you are in your 60s or later, it can take until 2 weeks. That's explain why it is not the best idea to take an early flight, going on holidays, and older you are, worse the idea is. So better to take an opportunity to sleep properly before going on holidays, because if you didn't sleep well just one night before your flight, your skin will be not in the repair mode or not in the holiday mode during your whole holidays. And in the holidays, very probably you will be exposed to the more of ultraviolet, so it can lead to the higher vulnerability of the skin. And unfortunately, the lack of the skin can accelerate the skin aging, especially if you're exposed to the lack of the sleep quite regularly. And also it can lead to the scarring and to the damaged skin regeneration. So it explains why it's so important to sleep properly before any kind of aesthetic procedures, any kind of aesthetic treatments. And if you ask me, it's a perfectly legit reason to cancel or postpone the treatment if you didn't sleep well the night before or even a few days before. Because especially speaking about the laser resurfacing, about some kind of intense radiofrequency treatment or ultrasound treatment or chemical pills, because you are in the risk of the bad regeneration and you are in the risk of the scarring, post-treatment hyperpigmentation, and the far from ideal collagen synthesis on your skin. So try to sleep better before you're planning something intense for your skin. Physiological jet lag, we call it jet lag, our age-related circadian changes in the skin, but it is a jet lag as is. We call the primary jet lag, it's desynchronization of body clocks following the change of the time zone. Scientifically, the change of the time zones for 2 or even for 3 hours should be safe for everyone, especially for healthy people who are sleeping properly. If you are suffering from insomnia, for some sleep disturbance, the 2 hours time difference can be damaging for your body as well. So you should be more careful about it. And what is interesting, in our body, different organs are synchronizing with a different speed. And our brain is the most adaptive part of our body. So when you're experiencing jet lag, 5 hours, 7 hours, or even more if you're traveling some long distance flight, your brain will be synchronized back in about 24 hours. So give it 1 day, and once again, you get all of this mental fog, you will think properly, you can feel happy, and you can have this illusion that everything is going well, then you overcame jet lag. But skin jet lag can be much longer. If your brain takes only 1 day to readjust its biological clock, your skin can take 2 weeks to readjust it. Depends on your age, depends on your skin conditions, and depends on your previous experience to jet lag. How to minimize symptoms of jet lag and how to improve the skin resilience to minimize the damage of the desynchronization for your skin and for your body as well. First of all, you should understand the direction of your travel, because your body reacts different to the travel to the east and traveling to the west. When you're traveling to the east, you should reduce the exposure to the light before traveling. So you are literally going in the night time, in the night mode, a little bit prematurely. If you will experience the jet lag, like time difference, about 7 hours, you should take at least 3 hours in advance. Do not be exposed to the light. And actually, when you're traveling by some big flight company, it's what they do with the flight during the flights. It's one of the reasons why they reduce the light during the flight. It helps you to readjust your biological clocks. But if you're traveling to the west, you should reduce the exposure to the light after you've been traveling, because your body clocks work differently. So remember, traveling to the east, you try to stay to the dark before coming on the place. And when you're traveling to the west, just use your sleep masks and reduce the light exposure. Close your blinders on the window after you arriving at the place. It will help you to readjust circadian clocks. Also, you should adapt your exercise schedule. And once again, traveling to the east, it's a good idea to exercise after arrival. Traveling to the west, it's a good idea to exercise before the departure. And also, it is still possible to use circadian skincare, which helps your skin to readjust via activating different molecular mechanisms in your skin. What you can do to improve, to rewire your skin clocks? First of all, it's always a good idea to stabilize the sleep schedule. So try to go to the bed at the same time and try to wake up about the same time. And even better if it can be done in the natural time of sleep and wake cycle for your body. Because all of us are different. Some of us need 7 hours healthy sleep, or some of us need 9 hours of healthy sleep. And recently I read an article about some part of population has this very interesting genetic, I will not say mutation, but genetic individual ability to take the whole cycle of healthy sleep in 4 hours. That's about 2% of the human population who are able to sleep very shortly, but to be properly functional and to get this longer day cycle without any damage to their skin or their body. It is a good idea to improve the sleep quality. If you can't do it, there are a lot of things you can do to helping you sleep better, such as the cool temperature in your room, because most human beings, they are sleeping better when they are exposed to fresh air and when the temperature in the bedroom is slightly lower than the day comfortable temperature. Also, it can help some ritual before going to bed, like taking hot shower, doing some skincare ritual, listening to some calming music, and other things which can be individual. Someone is sleeping better with socks on their feet. Someone sleeps better with a special sleep mask. But most of us sleep better in the dark room when you're not exposed to the light signals, because our body can read light through the closed eyelids, because you remember we have specific pigments in our skin which is able to absorb the visible light and transmit this message to our brain. So try to limit and minimize your exposure to the light during the night, using different blinders and closing the windows as much as you can. Also, what can help to improve your sleep schedule and to improve your ability to sleep properly? It's a fasting feeding cycle, which is the best option for most of the people, is do not eat something heavy during the half time of the day. When your body starts to switch to the recovery mode, your digestive system switch to recovery mode as well. And if you are eating something higher amount of fat and higher amount of protein, it reactivates your digestive system, and digestive system sends the GABA signals to your brain, which is reactivating the defense mode in your skin and in your body as well. So if you want to sleep better, if you want your skin to recover better, you should eat very lightly during the evening time. And your most caloric food should be during lunchtime and maybe in the breakfast. Also, what helps is early morning exposure to the daylight, because when we see natural blue light during the early morning time, it helps to restore and readjust our body clock. So it's not only about how you go to sleep, it's also about how you wake up. And if you have no opportunity to see the natural sunlight during the morning time, for example, you are living in northern country or you travel to the northern country, it's always a good idea to have some light therapy, affordable, and it's possible to buy them literally everywhere around the world. And also it can be helpful to use an antioxidant supplementation, because the circadian dysregulation leads to the higher oxidative stress. It reactivates circadian dysregulation. So once again, antioxidants as supplements and antioxidant skincare helps to readjust the biological clocks in your skin. It would be great to keep in mind to maintain your healthy circadian regulation in the skin in the first place. First of all, think about the sun exposure. Be strategic with your sun exposure. Do not expose yourself to the ultraviolet after lunch and especially at the evening time. Yes, the evening sun is gentler, and it is very nice to walk on the beach or have some bath in the sea and the ocean at the evening time. But remember, if the sun is still high, if the ultraviolet is still active, that can readjust your circadian clock and reduce your night recovery mode. So if you want to see beautiful sundown, it's better to go to enjoy sundown a little bit later. And especially if you traveled by some long distance flight, it's better do not go to the ocean in the after lunch time in the first day, or probably in the first couple of days. Also, it's a good idea to intensify your sun protection during the whole jet lag. And you remember, it can be long lasting. So if you're going on the holiday, or if you're coming back from the holiday, your sun protection should be more intense. So you should use sunscreen with 50 plus at least 1 week after you've been changing the time zones. Also, please don't use any kind of intense, potentially sensitizing skincare during your jet lag period. So literally, a few days before you are planning to travel, and at least 1 week, better 2 weeks after you've been traveling in the long distance flight. Instead, use an antioxidant skincare. Use skincare designed for the sensitive skin, and absolutely use circadian skincare. And circadian sun protection is the behavioral changes combined with a change of choice of your protective measures when you're exposed to the ultraviolet. So what it can be? In the lifestyle, what you can do? Active exercises, better to be exercised in the morning time, not in the evening time. At the evening time, you can go for yoga, for some stretching session, and some recreative walk or swim or something else. But everything active, like playing tennis, running, jumping, doing some aerobic exercises, better to do at the evening. Speaking about the diet, to minimize your jet lag, the breakfast should be full of antioxidants, so look for something colorful for your plate, because all these natural pigments, they are natural antioxidants. And the dinner should be light. Even sometimes, especially in the first day traveling, it is a good idea to skip dinner, because this caloric restriction and this exposure to the intermittent fasting, if you can keep this fasting window about 12-16 hours, it really helps to rewire and readjust your circadian clock. And finally, about the skincare, how you can help yourself. You should use antioxidant-sensitive skincare during the daytime, combined with an intense sunscreen protection. And remember that if you're going outdoors after lunchtime, you need intense sunscreen, even if the ultraviolet index is low and the ultraviolet radiation is not intense, because your skin is desynchronized, so it will be much more vulnerable to the ultraviolet. And during the nighttime, please use more intense moisturizing skincare, because the water holding ability of your skin during the nighttime will be significantly reduced. The transepidermal water will be high, so the best way is to use more intense moisturizer. So you can use moisturizing mask at night before going to bed, not at the morning time. And when you are traveling through different time zones, it's a good idea to use the moisturizing mask in the first day after arrival, and probably a couple of days in a row to restore your recovery mode of the skin and restore the skin moisturization to help your skin to be more efficient during the nighttime. And also, you should use moisturizer at night, not only during the daytime. And circadian skincare, it exists. Speaking about Medr, we have this amazing Circadian cream based on prebiotics and probiotics, helping to activate the very specific recovery circadian mode in your skin, including boost of collagen synthesis, the refolding of collagen in the night, protection against the glycation and synthesis of energy during the nighttime, and also it helps to resynchronize circadian clocks. So if you want something helping you to overcome the jet lag situation, to resynchronize your skin, Circadian will help you a lot. Even if you don't use it during the whole year, take it with you to travel and use it a couple of weeks after you're coming back. Because circadian rhythms, they are extremely important for your skin health. And if your skin is healthy, regulated circadianly, your skin is in active longevity mode. It's prevented from the premature skin aging, and it's much more resilient, so it's better protected naturally from all kind of external stress. Thank you for joining us today on the Medr Beauty podcast. If you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an expert skincare tip. Have a question or topic you'd like for me to cover? Send me a message at podcast@medrbeauty.com. And let's keep the conversation going. Also, you can visit medrbeauty.com and discover Medr skincare, which I created. And if you enjoyed the show, I'd love if you left a review. It helps others find the podcast and keeps us growing. Until next time, stay healthy, stay glowing, and take care of your skin.